Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Shadowverse Resurgent Legends card review video. If you're wondering why this setup sounds and looks different than usual, I am recording this video from my iPad in a hotel as I am on a Christmas staycation. But you know, the show must go on. Static Dragon, 7 play point 4/4 Dragon Follower, crystallize 2 during your turn. Whenever an allied Dragoncraft follower with an original cost of at least 7 play points comes into play, destroy this card. Last word, summon a static dragon. Ward can't be targeted by enemy effects. Whenever this follower comes into play, restore 2 defense to your leader and draw 2 cards. If you have 10 play point orbs, evolve this follower. Now, this sort of diverges from the way that I was predicting that Big Dragon would be played with this upcoming set. So the biggest payoff for Big Dragon being playing the Celestial Worm God into, I don't know if it's even loaded here, but, Relic Dragon is the one I'm talking about. So Relic Dragon obviously being able to discount the next big card you draw, giving you tons of storm damage. Now, Static Dragon obviously doesn't do that. It's a defensive card. Is playing a bunch of big dragon guys going to win out over the more narrow amount of dragon followers into OTK playstyle? I find it hard to be sold on that. I think just playing a bunch of generic defensive guys is not going to win you the game, especially when they're not increasing your max defense, which, don't get me started on that. So I remain unconvinced of just spamming big guys dragon. That being said, you can play this on Crystallize 2 and then summon it out alongside a bigger threat later. So in just, pure ramp that requires a little more defense, you could just crystallize this, then play Draziel on top of it and get 7 healing and cycle. So, in a vacuum, this card seems pretty decent. It's just the archetype that it seems to be clearly supporting, I'm a little nonplussed about. Now, next up, we have a resurgent card, Mysterian Wisdom, 5 play point 2/2 Mysterian Rune Follower. Whenever you play a Mysteria card, subtract 1 from the cost of this card. Fanfare, put a random Mysteria follower besides Wisdom from your deck into your hand. Evolve, banish an enemy follower. Seems good. If your goal is to just play a bunch of traits to make your Mysterian Wormist activate, to make your, what's her name? Ginger activate, then, you can get this down to 0 cost very easily, especially with the Resurgent Veil and Nick. You can get this to 0 and then just cycle through your deck and move on from there. I just don't know if Ginger is a good enough win con. Like, Ginger into Mysterian Blackworm is a good enough win con to play an entire deck that plays like this. The biggest payoff is just cloning the Blackworm so far, unless we have, another way to end the game other than just stalling until Dual Barrier, right? So, great card for an archetype that I'm unconvinced about. Seems like a trend is happening. But maybe I'm just a doomer. Next up, we have the card revealed by Jif, Mermaid Commander, 8 play point 6/6, accelerate 2. Summon 2 Megalorcas, give them rush. Summon an enemy Megalorca. Okay. Fanfare, summon 2 Megalorcas, give them ward and evolve them. Summon 2 enemy Megalorcas. Why are we doing that? Whenever an enemy follower attacks, deal 2 damage to it and the enemy leader, and restore 2 defense to your leader. The fact that this is so easily destroyed by enemy effects, and it comes out so late, it makes me so sad. It's like a big dragon card, it's a controlling dragon card, and it never breaks because you can't accelerate it, but it also doesn't really do anything. If your argument is that, it can stop storm OTKs, you play this, and then whenever they attack, They can't hit your face. I mean, that's good. It's good for... well, let's see here. Magachio can use Case Cracked against this, so not that one. Loot Sword can just kill this with Barbaros, so not that one. Earthright can kill this with Levi, so not that one. So what is it good for? Nothing, is my fear. So I'm not really happy about Mermaid Commander. I don't think it's going to be that impactful. Lycoris, Pollution Princess, a research card here for Forestcraft, 2/1/2. Bane, once during your turn, whenever you play another allied follower, give it -5/-5. Can evolve without spending an evolution point and draw a card. And on evolve, whenever this follower leaves play, give the enemy leader the following effect. Whenever you play a follower, give it -5/-5, then remove this effect. Not stackable. This card actually seems kind of cool. So, it's an early cycle. It can help you kill off your own fairies or fairy wisps and turbo that count for your Castel. And on evolve, you can even bounce this or trade it into a big threat. And it neutralizes potentially their big win con, right? Like, think about this. You evolve this, bounce it back, and remember, it evolves for free now, right? And then if they play Jean, that Jean dies. If they play, say, Levi, if their plan is to Levi into what's it called? Giant summoning. Well, now that kind of disrupts their plan. Their Levi is dead. So I don't know. I think this card is actually kind of cool, especially for this control force that they seem to be pushing. I'm still a little wary that control force is not going to be a thing, especially with the rotation of Benevolent Elf and Cosmos Fang, but I don't know. I think this card is actually kind of cool and can actually stop a lot of potential OTKs by just sniping their key threat, all right? Now, finally, we have Alwida Pirate Queen, 5 play point 3/3, Legendary Commander, Fanfare, Summon, Viking, and Pirate, the one that has Storm and the one that has Ward. Evolve, destroy an enemy follower, rally 20, gain Storm, and give all other allied followers +2/+2. Seems bad, okay? So, listen, at rally 15, you have Twin Blader. At rally 20, you have Radiel. This one, you can play it at rally 17, you go up to rally 20, and you have 10 damage Storm, right? The 5/5 from Alwida, and then it gives other followers +2/+2. So you get the 5 attack on the pirate, on the Viking, and that's 10 damage. So not a great payoff for getting rally 20. The other two options I said are better. If you play this alongside Seeker of Love with Juliet, that's an additional 4 damage, so 14 damage Storm, still not super great. You can just play this mid-game for 3 bodies and a 2-for-1 evolve effect. Is that any better than Despotic Pawnmaker? Also not really. I think the rally paradox is fascinating, where every set they print rally support, and then they forget to make any of the cards good. So, I think Alwida is actually not very strong. People were expecting it to be loot support, and instead it ended up being kind of a dud rally card. I don't love it. I mean, you could just throw it into rally as a mid-game play. We are losing Maximus, so there's that. That's about as optimistic as I can be about that. So honestly, not super happy with these crop of cards that were dropped today. Alwida, mid at best. Lycoris, kind of interesting, but also a little tricky to play. But I do think Lycoris is the most interesting one of this batch. Mermaid Commander doesn't really do anything. Mysterian Grimoire, good, but what's the payoff still? And Static Dragon, pretty interesting in a vacuum, I guess, but I'm unconvinced about Big Dragon still, especially if the OTK playstyle with just looping relics is better. So, I don't know. All of these are kind of lame. But you know, the full set drop is tomorrow on Christmas Day, no less. We'll find out the full context behind all of these cards when the full portal drops. So, looking forward to it. Until then, Merry Christmas Eve. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.